for joining us from our studios in Israel. I'm Natasha Kirchuk here with ILTV's Morning Briefing.
Hamas has claimed responsibility for Monday's bus bombing in Jerusalem that injured 21 men, women, and children. The terrorist rulers in Gaza issued a statement identifying the bomber as 19-year-old Abdel Abdul Sarur from the village of Aida near Bethlehem. Sarur died in an Israeli hospital last night after being mortally wounded in the blast. It's yet to be determined whether the bomber set off the blast in a suicide mission or planned to leave the device on the bus and it exploded prematurely. The army has arrested the bomber's father, who is being held for questioning. The Shin Bet security service is maintaining a gag order in the case and has yet to confirm that Sarur was a terrorist responsible for the attack. Hospital officials say that the bomber lost both legs in a blast and that he succumbed to his injuries. When one thinks of the Iron Dome missile defense system, what comes to mind is the protection of Israeli cities during Operation Protective Shield. So why was an Iron Dome battery in the United States this week? Well, the answer is that the US military borrowed one of the units to conduct the system's first ever trial on foreign soil. The US military fired Tamir missiles to down an unmanned aerial vehicle, and the missile successfully struck and destroyed the target drone. The trial was conducted by the Israeli Rafael Defense Systems together with American defense contractor Raytheon, which is the world's largest producer of guided missiles. It's the first step toward the possibility that the Iron Dome will eventually be used by the American military. The US assisted in the funding of the Iron Dome system, which was credited with shooting down over 700 rockets that were fired from Gaza into Israel during Operation Defensive Shield. In the aftermath of the Iran nuclear deal, some economic sanctions have been lifted, but it appears that some of the frozen funds being released will be given to families of victims of Iranian terror. In a historic ruling, the US Supreme Court awarded $2 billion to compensate families of Americans killed in attacks orchestrated by Iran. Those attacks include suicide bombings in Israel, the 1983 bombing of the US Marine Corps barracks in Beirut, and the 1996 Khobar Towers truck bombing in Saudi Arabia. The Israeli NGO Shurat Hadin represented the Rubin family, who lost a family member in a 1997 double suicide bombing on Ben Yehuda Street in Jerusalem. The 6-2 vote turned down an appeal by the Iranian Markazi Bank to block an earlier ruling awarding the funds to the victims' families. The money is currently being held in a trust account in New York. The Israeli Prime Minister says that the IDF will continue to operate in Area A of the West Bank, even though it's officially still under full Palestinian authority and civilian control. The majority of Palestinians in the West Bank live in Area A, and the zone has been under PA control since the 1993 Oslo Accords. Yet the IDF began to operate in the area during Operation Defensive Shield in 2002, and has continued to do so since. In the past few months, Israel and the PA have been negotiating a change in the status quo for Area A, where Israel would halt operations across the region. Yet Prime Minister Netanyahu is now saying the IDF reserves the right to operate in the area, according to the army's operational needs.
That's all for now. I'm Natasha Kirchuk, and see you later with our main daily broadcast from Israel at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.